Hey YouTube, Sergeant Savinelli. It is 36 degrees here. Cold, very cold. Can't stand it. Had a special idea today for this little trip of ours that we're about to take. But before we commence, I got a couple of things to get out of the way here. A couple of shout outs. One to Gently Tamped. Andrew, you did a great VR on my review of the Peretti Blend 500. Thank you so much for that. I'm always over here complaining about the cold because I don't like the cold. But looking the way you were dressed and where you were, I see you sympathize. The ducks were nice. I like the ducks. Thanks for that VR and for the kind words. Much appreciated. And my second one goes out to Recovered Know-It-All. A couple of your comments actually spurned this video today. I hope I didn't read them incorrectly. So, I checked my channel this morning and I noticed that I have 144 subscribers. I just started this channel October 28th. That's an unbelievable response. I would like to thank everybody there, and I'd like to offer a little toast to all my subscribers because it's not always easy for me to get back to everybody, and this is my way of making sure that nobody gets forgotten. So to all of you out there that have watched my videos, that have commented on my videos and have given advice in such great terms, I wish for all of you what I wish for myself. Okay, so moving right along. Some of you may be thinking, what the hell's he got on his head? Well, if you take a close look, some of you may recognize this from your childhood or from even your adulthood, depending on your take on what we're about to talk about here. Just to let you know, this hat is an official Austin Reed of Regent Street out of London. And here's the backstory. As a young boy, I was always fascinated with the stories spun by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle about the private detective from 221B Baker Street out of London. We're talking, of course, of the famous Sherlock Holmes. And I always liked to read the stories, and I always took me to different places, and you know, I kind of, like most people, I'm sure, enjoyed his almost superhuman ability to logically deduce things and come to conclusions in solving crimes and all of that stuff. That always fascinated me as a child. Well, as it turns out, not only did I have to go out and buy a hat many years ago, which actually still fits. I'm pretty impressed by that. I don't know if that's a good thing or if it just means that my brain and my head didn't grow, but it could be either or. But about 30 years ago, I also went out and purchased myself one of these. Many of you will recognize it as being the same style and type of pipe that Sherlock Holmes smoked on a regular basis. Right? For those of you that are unfamiliar or didn't realize, Sherlock Holmes is probably the most famous fictional pipe smoker that ever lived. In fact, the Guinness Book of World Records has him listed as the most portrayed movie character in all of history. So, and that's That's a standing world record as far as I know. So anyway, 30 years ago I buy this pipe. I actually bought two. I bought the yellow one and I bought this one. The yellow one I smoked incessantly. The yellow one unfortunately didn't make it through one of my moves over the years and was irreparably damaged. So that one, rest in peace. This one, however, has never been smoked. It's 30 years in my possession and has never had a lick of tobacco in that bowl, has never had a fire lit to it. So I thought, what a better way to do the first smoke of this pipe than to offer tribute to the person who was most famous for smoking it. So, come to find out, because you know, when we read these things, you know, these stories and these fantastic voyages of all of these famous literary characters, we all tend to kind of formulate our own opinions and our own views of how they should be. I mean, even though they tell you bits and pieces here and there, you kind of always have your own input, your own take on it. So, being that Sherlock Holmes was an avid smoker, a pipe smoker, he also smoked cigars and cigarettes as well, but a very heavy pipe smoker. You know, you always imagine that he had some magical blend in this pipe, you know, that he solved all these crimes with while he was puffing away on this thing. As it turns out, if you follow any of the canon, he smoked the cheapest and strongest tobacco that he could find, okay? And it was classified as a shag, you know, a shag cut. Shag is also the slang terminology in the UK, I guess, for the cheapest the cheapest stuff you can find. And that's what he smoked religiously. I myself, in doing this video today, chose a tobacco to go in this pipe for the very first time that I thought, if I were Sherlock Holmes, this is what I would smoke. Okay? And that would be the infamous Cornell and Diehl Pirate Cake. 75% Latakia. Something that's got a little bit of depth to it, something that's got a little bit of taste to it, something that you can think about while you're smoking it. So that was my choice for today, for this momentous occasion, which I'm sharing with all of you. All right, let's get this thing cracked open here and get that bowl loaded. Pirate Cake is a pressed cake. It's got Turkish and burley in it as well. Oh, here we go. But as I said, it's a very, very heavy Latakia blend. 75% Latakia. So we're going to go ahead and stuff this bowl with some of this magical concoction here and see where we go from there. Bear with me. Cake's pretty easy to break apart. You can bust it up. It doesn't require too much work. It's a little moist to the touch right out of the can. We'll see how that plays out. These meerschaum inserts on these pipes are fantastic. It's basically akin to smoking a corn cob, you know, where you're not going to get any kind of ghosting or anything like that, but even more so, because this meerschaum, once you clean it out, you've got no ghosting of any sort. So if I want to smoke a burley later on by itself, or a Virginia later on by itself, it shouldn't have too much of the Latakia, you know, as a ghost in the pipe. Oh, I got a piece in here that's breaking my horns. Great. Come on. What the hell with you? I'll just stuff you in the way you are. Perfect. Now, the only thing that I remember from smoking the yellow one, which was an English calabash, just like this, only all yellow, This one's more of a this one's got more of a wood grain to it, a wood look to it. The other one was yellow, bright yellow. What I do remember is a lot of your juices and tobacco stuff all ended up down in here. And I'm a fanatic about cleaning my pipes. I run through, I can't tell you how many pipe cleaners I go through a day, and paper towels that go through that bowl at the end of the smoke and all of that stuff. It's just me, I'm neurotic when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I've had good luck being neurotic that way because my pipes last a long time. So, all right, let's not waste any more time, get this thing lit and see where we go. In fact, I don't know how well known it is. For those of you that are Holmes fans, you may know. But for those of you that aren't, it's actually one of those fun facts. You know, you've heard over the years the phrase most associated with Sherlock Holmes being elementary, my dear Watson. Well, as it turns out, those exact words were never spoken by Sherlock Holmes. In any of the novels or the literary works, I think there was 4 novels, there was like 56 short stories. I don't know if they ever did it within the movies. I don't ever remember Basil Rathbone ever saying those exact words in their adaptation when he portrayed Sherlock Holmes. And I actually never really got to watch the entire new movie with Morton Downey Jr. there, or whoever he is, the guy who played Iron Man, not Morton Downey. You know who it is. So those words were never actually spoken. Fragments of those words were spoken. Holmes often referred to his style of solving crime as being purely elementary. And from time to time, he did refer to Dr. Watson as my dear Watson. So it's just one of those catchphrases that got started, you know, and ended up on a bumper sticker somewhere that had a little bit of truth in reality, but not the way that it was originally portrayed. So I got to say, my first smoke off of this pipe, lighting problems notwithstanding, is actually pretty good. Pirate Cake is a phenomenal blend. If you like Latakia, it's something you might want to try, but only if you're probably really a lot fan, because if you're not into the heavy smokiness of the Latakia, the heavy taste of the Latakia, this might be a little too much for you right off the bat. As I've said in previous videos, I can smoke Latakia straight. I love it. I think it's a phenomenal tobacco. The taste for me is perfect, because I've got a wide range of taste when it comes to pipe tobacco. Very, very good blend. Very good mix of burley and Turkish. Even though it is a 75% Latakia blend, you can still taste the burley and the Turkish. We did the whole Turkish Oriental thing in this past video that I did that caused all kinds of confusion. So we're just going to say that this is a burley, Turkish, and predominantly Latakia blend. Again, Cornell and Deal Pirate Cake is the blend. Oop, let's get it back up here so you can take one more look at it. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. If you're a Latakia fan, you will love this. I do. I enjoy it. I think it's a great, great blend. Very good. And with that, I will wish you all a happy, happy rest of your week. I hope you have a great end to your week as we go into the almighty weekend. And I'd like to thank you all again so very, very much for joining me on this special tribute to the great Sherlock Holmes. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you all again very, very soon.